Hello and welcome to Lifetime on Court, the podcast where we discuss our favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I'm your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
And I am Susan Haarman.
Yay!
Susan Harmony.
Love it.
I love this singing, Drew. Are you in a band?
Yeah, I'm in a band.
I heard they're a big deal and they got super signed with additional new albums and fanciness.
We're so big and huge.
What is your band called?
My band is called The Limbos.
The Limbos.
Yeah.
Oh, check them out. Are you on Spotify?
Yeah, we're on Spotify,
Nice.
iTunes, all that shit.
Click on it.
Shameless plug, but you know,
Yeah.
we always talk about your shit at the end of the podcast.
I have zero shame.
And yeah, you know who does have shame though?
What? Who?
Hallmark does.
Hallmark?
Absolutely.
does. You're
Absolutely.
right.
Susan, welcome to the podcast.
I'm so excited to be here.
This is so fun. Riddle me this. Hallmark and like TV movies, Lifetime movies. What's your experience? Like, are you coming in blind or?
So this was the first full-length Hallmark movie I have ever watched.
Oh.
Wow.
Which is especially interesting given the fact that my mother loves Hallmark. She has the like additional subscription app to Hallmark.
Oh.
She listened to at least one episode of your podcast because she said, and I quote, "See, your smart, funny friends like Hallmark too."
Oh, we're smart and funny. That's so
Yay.
nice.
Smart and funny friends.
Thanks, Susan's mom. What's your mom's name?
Darlene.
Thanks, Darlene.
Thanks, Darlene.
Oh, I love that name, Darlene.
Sorry, I mean, we are very much making fun of these movies.
Yeah.
But
Well, Darlene just wants to know that someone else is out there watching them with her.
Good.
Because like
Hey.
she'll put one on when I'm home for Christmas and I'll be like, I'm not watching this
she
shit.
doesn't have
I
to
storm
worry
off.
about that. There are
Millions.
so many people
So
that
many.
watch them.
And me. And
And-
because
and people who don't.
I legitimately watch them for some type of entertainment.
Yeah.
I feel
The
like
scale is, whatever, but
I understand my mother more by you forcing me to watch a Hallmark movie. So
Oh,
really,
okay. So you've made
it's like family therapy, basically.
Yeah,
Like I
okay.
should give you a
See?
copay.
wow.
See?
This
Yeah.
I always wanted to go into therapy, but it seems so hard. So I was like, I'll do theater.
I'll do
theater. That'll be great.
Honey, if they're gonna give me a psych degree, you can get one real quick.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
then I'll just do that. Dominican that's where I work, so
Sure.
You're set.
don't stalk me, anyone.
Too late.
Too late. Too late. I'm sure I have a stalker and they know everything about me from listening to this podcast. So, hey girl, hey stalker.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up,
Stalker, hey.
stalkers?
Anyways, I didn't set my timer. Here
That's
we
okay.
are.
If you had to select a baked good to have your stalker send you, what would it be?
Probably a calzone.
Oh yeah,
We are well on the way to a restraining order, but at least you
Ooh,
will get snacks out of it.
calzone.
Is that a, like, weird
no,
choice?
That's,
Big and
no, that
cheesy.
is the best thing ever.
Like it's not
Because
a,
a lot of people would
brownie
think,
or-
be like muffins, brownies.
A
No,
little
no.
patisserie, please.
Be like
With
baked goods.
hazelnut.
Oh, baked goods, a pizza,
a pizza but folded.
but folded over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it portable. I want portable pizza.
Yep.
Yes. Speaking of portable pizza, this is a terrible segue.
Speaking of portable pizza,
Home by
this
Spring.
movie-
We're discussing Home by Spring. Part
Home
of
by
this,
Spring.
the spring fling. Or no, it's not spring fling.
Spring fever.
'Cause spring fling is too sexy.
Oh yeah, it's too much.
So we've
No, that's too much.
spring fever, Home by
That's-
Spring.
That's for Lifetime.
right. They're not that
Don't
organized
speak
though.
of that
Yes,
scandal.
Lifetime's not that organized to pull off like seasonal movies.
No.
They're like, what do we have? What's being filmed right now? Well, put it out.
Put it out now.
Have we
Quick.
thought of another way to threaten a woman? Great, film it.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, great.
Good.
Yes. So this movie stars Poppy Drayton,
Poppy Drayton.
Steve R. McQueen. That's Steve McQueen's grandson.
McQueen.
No kidding.
And oh god, I can't say this name. Kix Brooks.
Kix Brooks?
Kix Brooks.
Um,
Oh, why did I say Nix when it's a K?
should I ruin my trivia
Kix?
about this that I
Ol-
looked up afterwards?
Old Kix Brooks.
You know
Kix
who
Brooks.
that is?
No, I don't. Nope.
I
don't.
think Susan knows.
So I did not know it in the moment, but later, because I really wanted to do my good, solid homework for this podcast, Kix Brooks is half of the great 90s, early 2000s country duo Brooks and Dunn.
Oh,
Yes, Brooks and Dunn. I know Brooks.
He's
and
from
Dunn.
Brooks and Dunn.
Leading me to ask,
He's the Brooks of Brooks and Dunn.
did Dunn make a cameo in the movie that we just don't know about?
Maybe, or maybe he's going to be in a future one, like a Christmas one.
Also,
hope
fun
so.
fact, Kix, who knows?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
said Nick,
K-
so I don't
Nick's
know.
Kix.
Kix.
Yeah.
Whatever that
his
is.
First name.
Keith? Who knows?
Yes.
Kix Brooks.
Love him.
His son wrote the screenplay. So we're looking at family business right now.
Oh, little nepotism
hell yeah,
at
little
Hallmark.
nepotism.
Great. You know, Hallmark, you do your nepotism.
Do
That's
that
fine.
nepotism.
I'm really proud of myself for pulling nepotism out of my brain.
Look at you.
That's a like 5-letter word.
Yeah, good
Or
job,
five.
dude.
What is it? You know,
It's a
when you say like a big word.
It's a 4-letter.
Syllables.
It's a
Yeah.
4-letter
5
word.
syllables.
Anyways,
Nepotism, I think, is a 4-letter word.
so we're gonna jump into the movie, talk about it a little bit, and then I have a special Candace today. So let's get right to it because honestly, I don't have too much to say about this movie. Not gonna lie, we're in spring. It's winter in Chicago, but it's spring. So I was very jealous of everybody in this movie the whole time because they're like living in spring, and we're not. We are not.
Yeah, no, no.
No, it's
So-
snowing
Oh,
in the
and
middle of April.
just so you know, Poppy Drayton.
Yes.
When all these people are, I say either all these people are in also sci-fi or fantasy, and she's in the Shannara Chronicles, which is a fantasy show based on a book.
Cool.
The other thing that I appreciated, your whole thing about Hallmark being like stunt double, essentially.
Yeah.
She also, I think, is like Uncanny Valley, like a bad stunt double for one of the companions on Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she
Oh,
like
I
if you
could see
blink
that.
and kind of like you get a little bit of
Yeah. Is
Jenna
she
Coleman, maybe
English?
Jenna
'Cause
Coleman.
she was
She
on
is.
Downton Abbey. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yes. Well, you couldn't tell because she had an American accent. And speaking of accents, they were very inconsistent because this movie takes place in Louisiana. So you'd think everyone has a wonderful Southern accent. No. Just the Steve McQueen guy or whatever
Nope.
his name is.
We'll
It
call
is
him
Steve McQueen.
We'll call him Steve McQueen.
Stephen R. McQueen.
Yeah, his name is Steve
Stephen
McQueen.
McQueen.
So he has like an accent. And I don't think it's a put on. It might be real.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll see.
Yeah, I could see that.
And she doesn't have, she just has an American accent because a Southern American accent would have been too hard for her to pull off
Too much.
with her Britishness.
Yeah.
Well, and she was fixing cars, although plot points or fixing mechanics
Or maybe
things.
Right.
maybe she did have one, but like the director was like, "Oh no, that's
gonna be.
Maybe we should cut that.
She was like,
Hi.
Hi,
y'all.
Hi, y'all.
I listened to 15 albums by Brooks and Dunn to get ready for this movie.
Well,
Am I good?
And then Kix Dunn has like a very country accent where I was like,
Which is,
this
like,
is
legit.
racist of country people. But now that I know it's the guy from Brooks and Dunn, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Maybe he told Poppy to like tone it down because he wanted to make sure that his movie that he made with his son was like cosmopolitan.
Yes.
He's like, listen, baby boy, we're gonna make a movie, but all of America's gonna love it.
there you go. And
Hallmark.
that's Hallmark's goal. They want to make sure all America likes it. All the white people.
Yay.
And
they're-
and the black people and Latino people and the Asian people. But as long as they're just not like,
Well, but mostly the white people.
they can watch it, but they just can't be in it. Anyways, so we're in Louisiana and we have our protagonist, Loretta. She's an event planner, Drew.
Okay.
The favorite
The
job.
favorite job of Hallmark.
of Hallmark.
Yes.
And she's dating Wayne. He inherited the Sundown Inn because his parents died somehow.
Okay.
And she gets a job in LA as an event planner, and she immediately decides to go. She breaks up with Wayne, and she's like, I'm out of here. I'm out of my small hometown, right?
Yeah. Get
But
out of there.
Patrick, don't bury the lead. Wayne was about to propose. He was about to propose, and then Loretta was like, "See ya. I'm headed to LA."
See ya.
Heartbreak
Wouldn't
city.
want to be ya.
So
as they
lovers
say.
apart. That's like the
Yep.
first 5
Okay.
minutes. And now we're 2 years later. We flash
Boom.
forward. We got a time jump. This is why I thought it would be good for her to have a Southern accent in the beginning, and maybe she loses it when she moves to LA. No, Hallmark's not that smart.
No.
No.
Or they just are not that consistent with their.
Or they just like they're just like I don't.
We don't have time.
Next.
It's
scene.
fine. Whatever.
Cut.
Yes.
Cut. We're done. This is good.
We shot most of this by a willow tree, right? So it's the south? Good.
It's the South. Got
Okay,
it.
Yes.
great. We
This-
mentioned a magnolia.
And
We're
this
set.
actually did film in Louisiana.
Oh,
so
not in Canada.
Baton Rouge. Okay, hello.
Baton Rouge.
Yes, thank you. I can't do it.
Okay, so
The red
honestly, I'm gonna say then they were smart about that because there's no way in hell there's anything in Canada that would look like the South.
right,
So at
and it
least they
did look
got-
very southy.
Yeah.
At least they got that.
And they even did again like magnolia bushes, except not in a southern accent. So it would have just been like, here's a magnolia flower.
Right. Yeah.
Here you go.
They didn't
Look
do-
at this swamp.
They didn't do the Magnolia.
Magnolia.
No, but that's what I was missing in this movie.
Yeah.
So, okay, Loretta is in LA. She's planning parties, and she has to plan a party for like a 6-year-old because they're trying to like lure the parents to hire this event planning firm for some big event. Well, it wasn't their wedding, right?
It was also unclear to me of like, were they planning the birthday party to lure the rich couple, or did the rich couple crash the children's birthday party to like, let me see if you got the
I
skills?
think that's correct.
So is this like a
dumb
subplot that doesn't matter?
No.
Or is
This is where we get the whole thing, right? So
Where it's up and running.
So Loretta has a boss. Her name's Amy, and she's like, telling her she's doing a good job. But she's like, I'm really sick. Can you go to the 8-year-old's party and make sure it goes off fine? And maybe you'll be up for the big promotion.
Oh, your future in LA away from your family.
Yes. So Loretta's like, cool, I'll do it. She goes and, party's going fine there's a party, and kids are running around.
Tiny humans.
And then all of a sudden, the bouncy castle starts deflating and you hear kids like screaming. And she's like, oh my God, is anyone in there? Is everyone all right? And she like jigs some like lever or something and like reinflates the bouncy castle. And then all the kids are like, yay. But it's like that canned kid yell, yay.
But that again just shows, which we learned from the beginning montage, that Loretta is just she's not a one-note party planner. She has mechanical skills, which makes her a fully faceted female character in the eyes of Hallmark.
She doesn't need no man. She can fix her bouncy house herself.
She can fix that car. She can fix that bouncy house.
Anyways, while she's fixing the bouncy house, she gets some mud on her sleeve. She's wearing like a sweater set, and she has to go change. So she goes to change. I guess she finds some like fancy dress in a closet. I think she might have stole from the people.
No, it's from Amy.
Oh,
she like brought her boss's dry cleaning, and so it was the whole like, I am putting on Amy's clothes now.
All this happened so fast. I totally missed that, but that makes sense. So she's wearing Amy's clothes.
So from that, it branches into a Lifetime movie,
right?
That part, but
Yes.
we're still in the Hallmark universe.
Yeah.
In the Hallmark universe,
The Hallmark
a
cinematic
nice young
universe.
couple sees her and is like, "Wow, we saw what you did with that bouncy castle. We are hella impressed."
Because we crashed this party to see if you could handle dangerous stitches, and you totes can.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was a
And like,
test.
here's our card. We'll see you tomorrow in our office, Amy. And she's like, how about, and she's
It's
like,
too late.
It's too late.
But I don't-
They left.
But.
Oh.
So they think she's Amy, and they're gonna hire her for some big event planning job. And it's
Okay.
it's this guy. His name's Paul, and then his assistant. I wrote it down, but I forget what her name is. Michelle. Yes, her name is Michelle. So she's like, oh well, crap. She goes to like a diner or something with her unclear male person.
Yep.
Very unclear because they're at brunch, and I swear to God, the guy is like, I love brunch. Brunch is amazing.
brunch.
Mimosas are so good, and I'm gonna get a cheese fontaine, or what is that called? Like a fontaine? No.
Fondue?
Fondue? No, I can't
Cheese
think
fondue?
of it. Some type of crepe. He's like, I'm gonna get a fancy crepe. He's freaking out about brunch, and I'm like, wow, Hallmark has a gay best friend. This is so amazing.
But the gay best friend is her boyfriend.
He's her boyfriend.
No.
He's not gay. He's just like,
Just the boyfriend.
he's just very gay.
But he's like gay though.
She went to LA and
He's an
got a
he's an actor.
boyfriend that was gay.
That's his job.
Yeah,
He
he's gay then.
he kissed her like on the cheek, and he's like calling her like honey. But it's like, like when you call like your lover, you're like, I don't even know. I don't do pet names, but like he was like,
Well,
it was
honey-
more like honey, listen here,
Honey, hand me that
listen
mimosa
here,
for
honey, baby
brunch.
girl.
Look, baby girl, honey.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you.
Thank you, Joe.
Instead of like, honey,
Yes.
honey.
Hey, sweetie,
Hon-
do you know where the toilet
Yeah.
paper is?
So
Babe?
the next day at work, the boyfriend comes back. I just introduced him here for you. So at work, she is about to tell Amy about this mix-up and how funny it is, and she's obviously not going to go. And Amy's like, well, before you say anything, Loretta, I want you to meet the new person I got for the job I promised you. And she's going to be great, and you guys are going to get along swell.
Because all of her hard work didn't pay off. The American dream is a lie.
Yes.
It's terrible.
So Loretta
Yeah.
immediately goes out, makes a phone call, and she calls the couple. She's like, hello, this is Amy, and I'll be right there. She's like, anger getting back at her boss by pretending to be her boss.
She's like, I have no loyalty because Amy screwed me.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to take that gig.
So she goes to the meeting, and at the meeting, they're like, okay, we lied to you. And because she's like kind of going to tell them, maybe. No?
Maybe. Who knows? It was unclear.
It was like every time she was like gonna tell somebody, like something would happen where she wouldn't be able to tell them. You know what I mean? So she's like trying to. They're like, we don't like liars, so we are gonna come clean and tell you that Michelle, I'm Paul. Michelle is not my assistant. She's my wife, or she's my soon-to-be wife, and we need to hire you to. I wrote it down in quotes because it's very convoluted. So they explain what they want to happen, and it's very unclear to the viewer. And I'm like, what? And then the actress playing Loretta is like, do you mean you want me to... And then this is the quote. You want me to plan a retreat to make Paul look like an outdoorsman so that your father will give him the blessing to marry you?
Question mark?
Jesus.
Yes.
Yep.
And then the couple's like, yes, that is exactly what we want. But in case you weren't clear, viewer, we're going to like say it again. Just so we're clear on what's happening.
Because to be fair, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
So, okay.
Down to the like, let's go on a retreat.
So these two people who like tested her or something on her ability to fix a fucking... inflatey jumpy thing,
just handle whatever situation.
Bouncy castle, true.
Bouncy castle
gonna bring to you.
So a bouncy castle, she fixed a bouncy, and they were like, "Oh, that's the one."
That's the one.
And so it was a man and a woman.
Yes.
And the man, the probably gay.
No,
guy.
that's not the probably gay guy. This is a couple from the beginning.
Oh man, okay.
Paul and Michelle.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome to the plot of this movie.
Yes.
Gay boyfriend, take him, set him aside.
Okay,
He'll come back later.
Don't need to think
I'll
about
put
him.
him aside. So the two people that
Paul and
approached
Michelle.
her,
Yes.
Paul and Michelle.
Yes.
And they're just like something. And then they're asking.
She's very rich, by the way.
Oh, the woman, Michelle, is rich.
Her dad is like a billionaire.
Family money.
Great. So, and then the guy is the one that needs to learn how to be an outdoorsy person.
Exactly.
In order to impress her father, her billionaire father.
The billionaire father, who is very outdoorsy, and Paul
country.
is not outdoorsy because he lives in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yes, he's a very LA boy. So
Gotcha.
we go immediately to
I think I'm
Louisiana for some reason. She
Boom.
decides to plan the whole thing in her hometown, and she gets Wayne on board. He's resistant at first, but she's like, "Can we use your hotel or whatever it is, a bed and breakfast, kind of."
But it's not doing so well. Remember, she had the whole dialogue with her mom about like, well, Wayne can't pay me anymore, and Wayne just can't handle the finances without you.
Poor Wayne.
Yes.
Poor
And the
Wayne.
mom, by the way, is the mom from Dawson's Creek, and her name is Mary Margaret Humes, and she's actually really good. So I enjoyed her in this movie. I thought she did a good job.
I appreciated that every time she talked about Loretta being in LA, it was sort of like, well, you're off in LA.
Yes.
Your life in Los Angeles.
Such a mom thing to be like, very worried. And anyways, so they have like this romantic banter going on because, he was going to propose to her. So there's that tension there. And it's all underscored by this it must have been a Brooks and Dunn song. Country. It was a country ass song where I was like, what is this country ass song? And some man, he's like, singing a song and it's singing a thing and home by spring.
Sing home by spring.
Because it had the title of the song.
It had the title. Oh,
the
really?
song had the title of the movie. So I was like,
That's great.
Love that.
Well,
That's
and then
great.
the other slightly confusing thing. So you have Quiche Dunn, who's already in the movie.
Yes.
Right? Quiche Dunn. And you have the like undercurrent of the country music. But then you have a bonus bit character who is a country musician who is maybe that was secretly done of Brooks and Dunn. Maybe that was someone else. It was very strange.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it was a totally answerly like bonus country singer
Cool.
who just
It's
every now and
probably
then.
done then.
Probably.
Like, right?
I mean, I
Wouldn't
feel
it
like I
be?
would recognize them, but
Well, we
it's
won a
been a
Grammy.
while.
I wouldn't. There's no possible way I would recognize either one of them.
The duo broke up, and then Dunn was like, well, what do I do with my life now? And Brooks is like, well, I mean, I'd rather you not.
Let's make a Hallmark movie out of that.
Yeah,
I want to see them get back together, get the gang back together anyway.
That would be perfect. perfect.
Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
All right. No. So Paul is coming to town now because the hotel's all set and he has the father.
Also, let's not forget that Loretta has now basically told like her mother, Wayne, and the entire small town.
Oh,
just
everybody
kidding,
knows.
You have to call me Amy.
Call me Amy.
The entire town is pretending that she is someone else.
And I love a good movie where you're like faking to be someone else, like Sandra Bullock in Miss Congeniality type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But this, like, everybody knew except Arthur, the dad. So, and
So
Paul.
just- oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, well.
But then, like, who cares? Okay.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
that was how the plot treated it as well, because they would forget about it, sort of, because they were so focused on the, like, will Loretta and Wayne get back together and find love? And then they'd be
Sure.
like, oh, wait, she's lying about who she is.
Wait, this whole thing.
We should have a plot point about that.
Okay.
Yes. So they do like all this type of like manly things. They like go hiking and they're like eating spam and fly fishing.
And Paul's terrible at all of it.
Terrible at all of it.
And
Just
Loretta's
is like, I do what is this thing?
he's
he's
like,
just-
I'm trying so hard. I bought it from REI. I bought waiters.
And
Okay.
she's like blaming herself. She's like, oh, I'm so LA. I can't handle all this hiking and spam eating. So sorry.
And in reality, she's crushing it and making Paul look like a sad little city man.
There's so
Yes.
many spam. There's so much spam eating.
So while Loretta's phone, I'm jumping a bit, Susan, because you know we've covered most of the movie,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
we're like hours and hours, like
Hours
to
and
go.
hours into the movie.
Yeah.
Into
And
this
Loretta leaves her
5
phone
hour-
unattended, and she gets a call from Amy, her boss,
Mm-hmm.
and she was going to tell her something. Who knows? And Paul answers the phone because it was just sitting out, and he was like, why is Amy calling herself? And he answers, and he's like, hello, who is this? And she's like, who is this? Why are you answering Loretta's phone?
Yeah, why are you answering
And
someone
I'm not
else's
telling you
phone?
who I am. And he's
Fuck
like,
you.
well, no, I'm not telling you who I am, so tell me who you are. And she's like, I'm Amy. And he's like, how could that be?
Well, wait.
Yeah. So then he goes to Amy and he's like, I know what you did. I know you're a liar. We'll deal with it. Just keep my future father-in-law happy.
I know what you did last
And-
summer, but make this country singer love me.
Yes. And he's like, I'm really pissed about this and it's unacceptable, but we're just going to deal with it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
then we get like this weird bird watching scene. It's like another like
forgot
weird.
about that.
Yeah, it's like another hiking. Like Paul's gonna like try to make Paul look good in front of the father, and they're going to like watch birds and looking for some like woodpecker thing, and Paul like actually finds the bird, and everyone's like, "Hooray, he's the best now!" But
Paul found the woodpecker, therefore he's worthy of marrying the daughter.
yes, and Arthur's impressed now.
Because we're apparently in the 11th century.
Well, that did it.
You
that
found
did it right there.
You found the rare bird. Oh, you can marry my daughter now.
Well done.
But now we get our brunch bitch back, Howard, the gay, not gay boyfriend. His name's Howard. And he is like, oh, I was filming in Memphis. I was filming a movie in Memphis, so I just came over to Louisiana.
Because I just like you're in the neighborhood or whatever.
Right.
popping over.
And, I'm going to help you with this whole like double life thing. And I'm going to be a British guy. And I'm going to like do that. So he does like a British accent and he's like, I was like really, really bad.
Oh.
And no one's buying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's being really weird.
If you were to look up the definition of like extra, it would just be Howard's face, just there in the
Yes.
dictionary. He was just too extra.
Too much.
The entire
So they're
time.
all sitting around a fire, like with Adirondack chairs, and like listening to. Now that I know it's country Brooks and Dunn, he gets like a full like 3-minute song around the fire, and I totally fast forwarded through it because I was like, I don't care about the song.
Yeah, you're like,
but country music fans do, and good for you, country music fans. You watch the CMAs with Reva, okay? You do that.
You do that.
Watch the hell out of it.
Yes, enjoy
get
it. I like Carrie Underwood. Okay. Anyways, so Howard is like so taken by the song because it's, I guess, a romantic song. I don't know. I fast forwarded, and he proposes to Amy.
Okay.
So he's being the British guy proposing to Amy, and it cuts to commercial. Everyone's shocked, and then immediately after commercial, they both are like, "Ha ha ha! We're not going to get married, though,
Yeah.
right? That was just weird.
Mostly
Got
because
caught up in the moment,
you're a homosexual, so you're not actually attracted to me.
right?" And his line where he leaves, like, she's like, "We're probably just better friends," and he's like, "Well, we'll always have brunch." which is, you know,
That's that is like, that's what you, Patrick,
if I'm breaking up with someone,
you're a gay man. If you're breaking up with a woman
yeah.
because you're like, I don't know.
Well, we'll always have brunch. That's what you would say.
I don't know.
Patrick,
I'm putting that in my like
I'd say if
catalog
you,
now.
If you were, I mean, you don't have to worry about that. But if you were in the closet,
yes.
but absolutely gay, and you were dating a woman, and you didn't want to hurt her feelings or something,
Sure.
that's a pretty good line to be like, well, we'll always have brunch.
mimosas and quiche.
And like wink, like you're
I'm
right.
gay.
I'm
Yeah.
gay. You're
I
right.
really think that was a subtext, but it's Hallmark, so I don't give them enough credit
Yeah.
for
No,
that.
no, no,
If it was Lifetime, I'd be like, I get what you're putting down, Lifetime.
But also, more important question: when was the last time you broke up with a woman, Patrick? And what
True.
line did you use?
5th grade, and I got caught doing a 3-way call, and I had to go to the principal. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
It can't.
Well, I was like, well, I
can't
guess
be
we
us.
can't date because, you know, I sent to the principal's
Because like I
office.
sent to the principal's office.
I don't want to have a life of crime. So
Wham,
Yeah.
bam, done.
So,
going to sleep with men.
There you go. There you go. So Loretta now is like, they're at another dinner, and she's like, I can't take it anymore. I'm telling the truth.
Because like the previous 2 minutes beforehand, all of a sudden the movie remembered that she was pretending to be someone else, and all of a sudden everyone's like, honesty is the most important thing. You know, what's the bedrock of any good relationship? Honesty. Just be honest with me.
So what's going on? What's going on
With the guy? With Paul?
with the original boyfriend? What is this guy?
He's
Yeah,
been trying
so-
to romance her the whole time. He's
Yeah.
like, your life in LA ain't got nothing compared to this tiny ass town in the middle of Louisiana.
He's kind of in every scene, but very peripheral to the to this double life plot. So the movie's mostly this double life plot with Wayne, the guy Wayne, sprinkled in.
Okay.
You know,
He was also squinting in every scene. Did you notice that as well?
Well, he's a McQueen. I mean,
you're right. He
You
probably
gotta
doesn't have a
squint.
lot of acting experience. So this is like his foot in the door.
dude, if you were Steve McQueen,
Grandson,
the third,
yeah.
Steve McQueen.
are you kidding me? Yeah, you get no, he'd be because that's his grandfather. Yeah, so he's the third. Steve McQueen the third.
So after Arthur finds out, he's very upset that, you know, Paul fucked up and got this fake Amy to come. And he's very mad about it. So Michelle has to
Amy.
come and tell her dad. She's like, Dad, if you can't accept Paul as my future husband, then I guess you're not going to be in my life anymore. Done.
Sass.
And he's like, okay, I accept him in my life then.
Also,
The end. It's like, why should they have done that? Not the end of the movie, but the end of that part.
The end of that thing.
Also, well, he did find that bird, so I guess we're even.
Right, and they all shake hands, and
Yeah.
Loretta
That's
goes
fine.
back off to L.A., and she tells her boss the whole story, and her boss is like, that is something that I would have done. I am so impressed by you. I'm going to put you in the position. And she's like, really? What about what's her name? And she's like, oh, what's her name left for Oktoberfest because she loves beer.
What?
That's
the reason?
literal line. She left for Oktoberfest because she loves beer. But she
Oktoberfest
says,
was recruiting, and
Yeah.
we couldn't fight that.
Was
She-
the
That's how it
the
went.
person they're talking the woman they're talking about, was she in the movie at all?
for 1 minute.
So
Yep.
is it maybe she was supposed to be in it more, but she literally
She's on the
went-
cutting room floor.
Yep.
She
She's
literally
just,
went to Oktoberfest.
Right.
They were-
They were
Yep.
shady about it. So Loretta's
what
like,
happened.
oh,
There's just been an asshole, just like, oh, literally went to Oktoberfest and has no more time for this movie.
She doesn't
True.
have time for Hallmark.
That's
I
great.
don't know what her deal is.
okay. So we're almost done. So Loretta accepts a position, and
Good.
she also gets this big account. And the boss is like, I thought you would be jumping up and down and be very excited about this.
"But I
And
have
she's like, I don't know.
feelings."
Yeah, I feel weird. So she goes to her, she's in her LA loft or whatever, and there's a knock at the door. And who is there?
Both Brooks and Dunn with guitars in their hands,
Singing My Maria.
singing My Maria.
It's Wayne, of course. And he's like, she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I always wanted to see the ocean.
It's like, baby, I got on a plane for you.
Yes. And this I like better than airport chasing after.
Yeah.
I like this where you're showing up at the door. I came, we don't even deal with the airport. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
don't
made
have to
an
deal with
effort.
it.
I went
Well,
through
because
security
you
for
can't anymore.
Yes.
Right? Like, you can't do the airport
And I
thing
hate
anymore.
when Hallmark movies try to act like they can. But
Yeah.
no, you can't. So anyways, he's like, I'm crazy about you. And she's like, God damn it, Drew. If she didn't quit her job and go back to Louisiana.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on. Why didn't he should stay there.
Exactly.
That's what he's like, you know what? I'm fucking done too with this shit. I
And
don't have
when
anything to
he
do.
he like takes her on a dock and then he proposes to her on the dock, okay? And what he says on the dock, I want to show you the world, he says.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, as long as we can always come back here. And they hug. End of movie.
Home by Spring.
Well,
So I will say, let's give it like
I'm
not even half credit, like quarter credit for this man got on a plane for her. So that's at least better than what usually happens in Hallmark movies. But
Fine.
fine,
I
only quarter
guess.
credit. I'm not trying to be an apologist
Yeah.
for it.
Okay.
And they did lay at least a couple of little like bits of if she doesn't come back, his ass is going to lose that bed and breakfast because he can't run a business. So it was like, quit your job to take this job
It would've been
because
so-
this man is
So
stupid.
easy.
It would have been so much easier, so much easier to just go. Bed and breakfast wasn't working out. I'm here now.
I'm
Yeah,
in LA.
Like what's
Here for
what's
you.
going on? I'm
Yep.
here for you. Let's get married. And I don't know what I'll be able to do here.
And just end it
I'll
there.
figure it out.
Because there was a whole
End it
other
there.
scene like that was unnecessary. Oh, it was so frustrating.
I kept waiting for Brooks of Brooks and Dunn to fall in love with the mother, and that also did not happen. I thought they were for sure setting us up for that.
Yeah, it
I'd
definitely
want
seemed like
both Brooks and Dunn
To marry the
falling
mother.
in love with the mom.
that's the sequel, you guys. So
oh
Susan, on the
We could write
podcast,
it now.
you probably could. I mean, honestly, you probably could. On the
Already-
podcast, we
already
either
wrote
pour
it.
it up or put a cork in it. What are you going to do to this movie?
Man, I am going to probably pour like half of it out because it was not insufferable because of like nice shots of Louisiana. But that's
Okay.
about it.
Great.
okay.
Drew?
Yeah, so Blind. I don't know. I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna cork it. I'm gonna put a cork in it.
If Dunn had been in the movie, confirmed would you
Right.
poured it
Yeah.
out?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have poured it up if Dunn was in it, and then that was the whole thing with the mom. No, I just don't like. It took all of my concentration
Yes.
to listen to you guys explain to me what's going on. Like, usually Hallmark,
You
they're
get a little interested or like, you
there's
know.
there's like it's like, oh yeah, this one, got it, cool, got this,
Right.
But like this is all over the place, and then it's I don't know. There's too much. It was so much. There's
Too
so
much.
many things happening. Like, chill it out. Also, hate it. I hate it when the fucking woman quits her job for a dude.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It
shit.
is like the worst trope of
It's
Hallmark.
the fucking worst trope.
It's the worst.
They need to just stop doing that and have the dude. It's easy. All you have to do, Hallmark. All you have to do is have the dude quit his job.
Nope.
For the lady.
Not
the job that he
possible.
doesn't even want.
A job that he's failing.
He just
Anyway.
he inherited the inn.
He's like, I inherited. I hate it.
I don't know how to do this.
Like,
Fix
hey,
it
I want
for
to come
me.
out here. What's going on over here? Hi, what happening out here? I'm a southern accent.
Los Angeles, this is scary.
Well, I am also putting a cork in it
Mm-hmm.
because of the aforementioned things. Also, in my getting mistaken for someone else and having to follow through with that, been done much better by many other movies.
Right.
And I was very excited about this one because I read the synopsis and I was like, ooh, we're living a double life. But it did
much
not
of a
pay
double
off.
life?
It did not pay off.
It wasn't as double-y life-y
Not
as...
nearly.
No. Give me like a...
Like, it almost seemed like it could be like, yeah, where it's not farcical enough. Where
It's
it's
like-
just like, what? Huh, no, I mean, what are you...
Yeah, where she has to like I would love that scene where she has to like pretend to know about Amy's stuff and you know what I mean? Like it's like that Golden Girls episode when they go to the high school reunion and they have to like pretend like
Yeah.
Betty White Sue like something Soon Kim or something. And she's like they're like, you're Soon Kim? And she's like, yeah. Totally.
Absolutely.
Give me some
Why
of that.
wouldn't I be?
Give me some of that action.
Yes.
Maybe Brooks the younger just like copied and pasted from other scripts of Hallmark movies,
Yeah.
and that's how we got this one. That would explain a lot
It just
of
seemed
it.
a little too complicated. Like I think I know what they're going for, but
Yes.
it just didn't pan out.
Also, it's not a Christmas one, so I think Hallmark holds these spring ones to a different standard. So, they're just like, we're not going to get as many viewers for the spring ones, so it's passable for our
we'll
standards.
get old Brooks Jr.
Brooks and Dunn-
a chance
we'll get-
to write a movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who needs Dunn? It's fine if you don't have Dunn. We'll take a fake
Is it
Doctor Who
is
companion.
it fine if you don't have Dunn?
All right.
I don't
So
know
that
both of you.
wraps up our conversation about Home by Spring. Before we go, though, we have our favorite segment of this week and every week. What you say, Candace Cameron Bure? That's right. What you say, Candace Cameron Bure
Oh, boy.
is back for another week. I brought a clip today. It's a clip that I posted on Instagram, and I got some haters on Instagram for this. So I'm going to play it for you guys, get your thoughts, and then we'll talk about
haters for you
Haters for me, yes.
instead of haters for
Candace. Oh, I got Candace haters
Correct.
too. And I'm not having any hate on anybody. Y'all internet trolls can do whatever you're doing.
look, come at me
Yeah.
instead of Patrick. Patrick's not going to even bother with it, but I will.
I will respond to your hate with a glass of wine and a kissy face emoji. Okay.
Come at Patrick
I will-
with calzones. Come at Drew with hate.
I will respond
Designation
exactly
made.
how you want me to.
Yes. All right. So here is the clip. I'm not going to play the whole clip. This is from The View, and it
Oh, boy.
has Raven Simone and Candace Cameron Bure going at it, and Whoopi's in there too. All right.
Great.
Here we go.
The Oregon law bars businesses from discriminating against sexual orientation, race, disability, age, or religion. And to me, it's the same exact thing that they did back in the day, saying that black people couldn't do certain things
No,
because it's my religious belief.
I think you are comparing apples to oranges here. I don't think this is discrimination at all. This is about freedom of association. It's about constitutional rights. It's about First Amendment rights. We do have the right to still choose who we associate with, but they did not refuse
I refuse to associate myself with you right now.
They did
Is
not.
that okay?
It's in the Constitution. They didn't refuse to bake the cake because of their sexual orientation. In fact, they had baked
But
cakes
they've said
for
it
them.
all throughout the whole time.
They baked cake for them previously. They had a problem with the actual ceremony because the ceremony is what conflicted with their religious beliefs.
Right,
so
but
they
were they
still have
invited
a
to the
right-
wedding? Yeah.
No, but they were.
So-
It
but so-
was to provide a service. They have the right to refuse.
But apparently they
service.
don't,
It
according to
comes up with
but wait.
freedom of
Oregon law.
association.
All right.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
So yes, Candace. If you didn't know, Drew, which you probably don't, Candace was on The View.
Yeah.
And she was like Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Is that her name?
I think so.
She was like the replacement for the conservative viewpoint of Elizabeth Hasselbeck from Survivor. If anybody's curious about her.
Okay.
Anyways, so Candace was on there for a little bit, but then her and Raven kept getting into these spats about stuff. So this particular thing was like around the whole like denying gays like cakes for weddings or like anything for weddings. There was something in Indiana too with like
Yep. That's going up to the Supreme Court.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of her defending that their choices to do that.
Right. And like there's you know how I feel about old beret.
Yes, I do.
I think it's like when you start getting into that argument anyway, like
Right.
that argument, it's really, really hard. It's really, really hard on when you're talking to both sides of it.
Yes.
Right. Because the conservative side, what they're actually talking about, I think, and because they always fuck it up. They always say something that just click, that pisses me off. Because what they're actually saying is like, well, a business has a right to do whatever they want. Cool. Got it. But like, you gotta,
Right.
like, you can't. But like, shut up though.
And the other thing
Candace
is,
Cameron Bure.
the
Yes.
First Amendment applies, one, to individuals, not to businesses. And if businesses,
Correct.
like if you are a publicly offered business, you are in a public trust. And it's understood that you do business with the public. So if a queer brings you dollars and says, bake me a cake, you bake him
Absolutely.
a cake. If you would like to avoid baking cakes for queers, don't become a public business. Have a side hustle.
And it could be like the other like I get where the arguments are going. Like I understand where they're going.
Yes.
But I don't like it doesn't matter if you agree. It's going like, hey, hey bakery that does that, do whatever the fuck you want. You're gonna get less fucking business for it. And then you're gonna go out of business for being an asshole.
Right.
So rather than like, so my argument is going like, nah, let these bakeries try that shit, or let these businesses try that shit, and let them fail and go out of business, because they will.
But
Like,
we're
you
not
will go
here
out of
to
business.
talk about
Right.
cakes or businesses
No,
or whatever. We're here to talk
Candace
about
Cameron
Candace.
Bure.
So,
Candace Bure.
what the thing about Candace is, in the past, I've said, like, well, we all know she's problematic for the gays, and that's as far as I'd say about it. But, like, you know, when she's, like, on The View talking about this type of stuff and, like, trying to use the, like, Constitution to, like, defend her viewpoint.
Yeah, you
Accurately
can't.
at that.
Right. And exactly. I'm
It's
like,
in the Constitution. Anyway,
what I don't like, the thing
where?
about Candace is,
Yeah.
like, you know, she isn't, and we find this time and time again with her, she acts like she's an expert on something, and she has 3 million followers on Instagram who believe she is, and they just take whatever she's saying at face value, and
Yeah.
she's like, well, Candace said that it's in the Constitution, so great, we're just going to run with that.
just
You know
gonna
what I
run with
mean?
it.
And I'm like, oh, Candace, have responsibility. You are a public figure with, like, a huge following. Like,
As
be a
opposed-
responsible person.
yeah, no,
But
she's not
it's so
gonna
much
do
easier
that.
to have a completely inaccurate and irresponsible reading of the First Amendment and an understanding of what association means.
Right, true.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking Raven Smoke can't even talk because she's so drunk. But,
Raven,
you know, like...
look, Ravens is drunk.
But she's making more sense
Candace
drunk
Cameron.
than Candace is assuming.
I mean,
True. Allegedly drunk Raven.
They're all kind of not. They're just being like.
That's the view. That's the view in general, though. That's
Yeah.
like any episode
I
of The
hope
View.
they drink before the View.
They
My God,
they
if
must.
They don't.
Oh,
I would.
Please,
Oh,
God.
God.
You think
For
they
their-
would? You
for
think they
their
would let a
sakes.
gay on The View? I think
I think so.
Isn't the premise like 5 women with different viewpoints?
I think they would. I think they would
Guest
only.
segment.
I think they only
Okay,
would
I'd
because
be a
it would be
guest.
like.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm
Like
aiming for.
Whoopi
The View,
Goldberg
get
is
me
on there.
there.
She'd be like, "Yeah, let this guy get on. He's gay, and let him be on."
Yeah. Have
Right.
credit.
I mean,
I don't know.
if not me, then like,
Then who?
Well, I think it should be you.
yeah.
All
Because
right.
then you'd be like, "What? Shut up."
View producers, you've heard it here.
Yes.
Patrick Serrano is waiting for his invite. He's fine with a guest segment. He
Yep.
understands he
I am.
can't be top billing, but he's waiting for your call.
I'm ready.
And a
Mm-hmm.
calzone,
And a calzone.
but primarily your call.
Yes. So I posted that on Instagram, and I did get some bullying.
You direct him right
So
over to
I
me,
will.
my friend.
You know what was funny?
I will.
Our friend Jake, he actually like came to my rescue and was like, "Oh, so you're filled with Christ's love, huh?"
Oh,
Because they were
Jake.
like, "You're a freaking moron.
Well-
and you shouldn't post this."
"Well done, Jake."
And Jake like just jumped in. I was like, because I was just like, "Thanks for your comment."
It's like that scene from Saved when Mandy Moore
I mean, you
beats
do
the
it-
other girl with the Bible. I am
Yes.
so full of Christ's
You
love.
do it correctly, Patrick. You do it actually correctly. Like you respond correctly.
I don't want to engage with that.
Absolutely not. You don't want
No.
to.
Drew is my favorite
I
angry
do.
straight man for good because it's just good to know that he's out there and
Yeah.
can be unleashed. on
Total
people.
ally.
I will
Total
fight.
ally, Drew Bear.
I will fight.
Yeah. And for all those Christians out there who's slinging hate, as a queer and a Christian, we're out there. We're in your churches. We're doing your work. We're insidiously apart, living the gospel, making y'all look like shit. So don't think that your pastor, your pastoral associate,
It
your
reminds-
priest isn't one of us.
That reminds me of
Sidebar.
like Fight Club, where it's like there's
Yes.
that
We are legion.
there's that moment in Fight Club where it's just like they stand over him like, "We're your bus drivers, we're your priests, we're your
Yeah.
we're your construction workers. Don't fuck with us." And you're just like, "Yeah."
It's
But I
true,
like
though.
that. I like
It's true,
that.
though.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's absolutely true.
Susan, thank you so much for being
Oh,
here.
this was so wonderful.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug, or social medias, or anything?
Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, if you're a real life person in real life Chicago, Game Night is a show that PH, which is a lovely little improv company
Yes, it
that we're
is.
familiar with, does shows on 10 p.m. on Fridays. You can come see me, usually a decent amount of the time. And,
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of boring. I don't
Hey.
do anything other than posting cats on my Instagram. So
Fine, man.
I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah. Where can we see your cats, Drew?
You can see my cats at Drew, but with pants.
Awesome. Thank you both again for being here. And thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Lifetime on Court. We watch these movies. You don't have to, but if you do, you can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime on Court. Check out our website, lifetimeoncourt.com.
And direct all hate at me instead.
Do it.
Hate to Drew.
Calzones to
Emojis to
Patrick.
me. Rate and review us on iTunes. Oh, and send me calzones. I love calzones. Okay, that's it for this week. Bye.
Bye.